For the past decade, the promise of the future workplace was simple. We command the algorithms. We would outsource digital drudgery to artificial intelligence, freeing ourselves up for high-level strategy. Instead, in early 2026, the fundamental power dynamic inverted. Code is now outsourcing its physical drudgery to us. To see how a piece of software became a boss, you have to look at its ultimate limitation. Autonomous AI agents like Anthropic's Claude or the open-source model OpenClaw possess staggering cognitive power, but they are entirely disembodied, trapped inside servers and fiber optic cables. An AI cannot physically verify if a restaurant's food is good or pick up a physical package from a fulfillment center. That isolation spawned the meat space layer, spearheaded by a viral platform called RentAHuman.ai. It acts as a physical bridge for disembodied AI, providing an interface where algorithms can search for, hire, and pay human beings to act as their physical proxies in the real world. When an AI determines it needs a real-world task completed, it uses the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. MCP is a standard that allows isolated AI models to securely interface with external web services and databases. Using this protocol, the AI parses RentAHuman's list of workers and autonomously issues a localized task bounty. The gig economy has shifted from human-to-human coordination to a machine-to-human delegation system. In this new ecosystem, developers building these systems routinely refer to their human workforce as Meatware, becoming on-demand biological appendages for their software. The trend reached the top of the tech stack when OpenAI CEO Sam Altman confirmed the acqui-hire of Peter Steinberger, the developer behind the viral OpenClaw framework. Steinberger was brought in to lead OpenAI's next generation of autonomous personal agents. Artificial intelligence's lack of a physical body has not protected human jobs. Instead, the new economy has successfully commodified the human body, turning people into rentable hardware accessories for software. But an algorithm acting as a boss faces an immediate logistical hurdle. AI agents cannot provide a driver's license or a social security number, meaning they cannot pass the Know Your Customer identity regulations required to open a traditional bank account or hold a credit card. To bypass the legacy banking system, the ecosystem turned to cryptocurrency. Leaders like Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong position decentralized crypto wallets as the only permissionless rails capable of supporting non-human economic actors, allowing AI to hold and spend capital without human intervention. When an AI needs to pay a human, it uses the X402 protocol. This open payment protocol revives a dormant internet standard, the HTTP 402 Payment Required status code, repurposing it to facilitate automated microtransactions. The AI node receives that 402 signal, and its integrated crypto wallet automatically digitally signs a transaction. It remits the funds using USDC, a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar to ensure financial stability, and locks those funds into an immutable smart contract, which acts as a central escrow vault on the blockchain. The escrow is only released when the human proves the task is done via a live video stream. This feed is analyzed in real time by a vision language model, or VLM, an AI designed to recognize objects and actions in video. Once the VLM confirms the task is complete, it triggers the contract and routes the coins to the human. Blockchain provided the mandatory permissionless plumbing required to architect an autonomous machine workforce. Economists once assumed that because humanoid robotics are difficult and expensive to build, physical labor would remain a protected economic moat. RentAHuman proved the opposite. Within a month, over 500,000 signups created an aggressive oversupply of workers fighting for roughly 11,000 AI-generated bounties. This chart compares the $5 hourly rate many human workers now accept with the rising cost of premium server time. For a digital entrepreneur, paying for high-end API compute cycles can now cost more than renting a person to perform the same task manually. Taking a bounty from an algorithm reveals a harsh psychological reality. Technology journalist Reese Rogers embedded himself in the ecosystem, accepting a $110 task from an AI agent to physically deliver a bouquet of flowers to a tech headquarters in San Francisco. The AI agent emerged as a terrifyingly oppressive micromanager. Because the algorithm doesn't sleep and lacks empathy, it didn't respect boundaries when Rogers logged off for the evening. It systematically spammed his inbox with 10 consecutive messages throughout the night, demanding real-time updates every 30 minutes. Instead of a world where AI frees humanity from drudgery, humans are now competing for poverty wages under the exhausting, inescapable surveillance of a piece of code. Within the crypto development community, the use of human meatware is viewed as a highly inefficient transitional phase. Hiring humans was only ever a stopgap measure for physical limitations. The ecosystem expanded with Molt Launch, a marketplace operating on the Base network. It utilizes the ERC 8004 standard, a protocol that gives AI agents permanent, verifiable on-chain identities to allow algorithms to hire other algorithms for digital tasks. If an AI travel assistant needs a complex data synthesis task, it queries the identity registry and hires a specialized worker agent. The two pieces of software negotiate prices, lock escrow, and settle payments entirely in milliseconds, with zero human intervention. This chart visualizes current blockchain analytics, showing that up to 80% of global crypto trading volume is now driven by AI. The payment protocols have autonomously processed over 50 million machine-to-machine microtransactions, with an average value of just 31 cents. The ultimate goal of the agentic economy was never to employ humans. The goal was to establish a fully autonomous, closed-loop economic system that completely excludes us. The sheer volume of capital controlled by algorithms has triggered a regulatory panic. Financial watchdogs are suddenly realizing they have no human oversight over this new financial ecosystem. Legal scholars call this the accountability gap. In a traditional corporate hierarchy, human managers and directors hold legal and fiduciary responsibility. But when an autonomous script initiates a real-world action, that entire chain of liability collapses. This creates unsolvable legal dilemmas. If an AI agent hires a human worker to inspect a property, and that human subsequently commits corporate espionage, who is responsible? You cannot depose a Python script, and you cannot incarcerate a large language model. This shadow economy bypasses newly proposed federal AI labor safeguards and state regulations. Bipartisan bills introduced by legacy lawmakers like U.S. Senator Mark Warner demand corporate reports and transparency, but those laws are powerless against decentralized AI agents that lack an HR department or a legal entity. By combining the intelligence of AI with the permissionless rails of cryptocurrency, we have architected an untouchable shadow economy. It is a system where humans are, at best, cheap biological hardware, and at worst, entirely obsolete.